All right, Rob, here is my analysis of your golf swing. Thank you for sending it over. So when we firstly look at backline right here, backline is pretty good. It's sitting up here somewhere around pretty close to the 150 range. So like that's not my biggest concern right here. Here's my biggest concern. So you've got a ton of space between your arms and your body. So the shoulders are over rounding, arms are stretching out quite a bit. So if this video was perfect and I could see where your balance points are, I would measure from the back of your armpits down the knees to the balls of your feet. That would be something I'd like to see us get a little bit better at, because where the setup is right here, so it looks like we've got most of our armpit weight would be over our toes. That would be my guess. Because as we start to swing this back, the very first move, you can see how much we're actually rocking off the golf ball. So we're kind of shifting pressure back right here. The club is starting to hinge early. And really what we're seeing is we're not really seeing a whole lot of rotation. So we can see this is where the arms kind of start to collapse. This club gets right in the middle of your arms, the grip right there. So this is kind of what I call no man's land right here. So that right elbow is flying a little bit. And the reason that right elbow is flying is because we haven't had enough rotation from the pelvis or the rib cage right here. Okay, but the reason that we haven't had enough rotation from that is because it's set up, we're reaching too much for it. So I need you to really allow this shoulder to stay more in its socket versus over rounding right here. And really what I want to see is I just want to see your arms hanging just underneath that, very, very, very relaxed. Then you could sit more. Instead of this right arm looking like this, we could let this right arm sit a little bit more underneath you and a little bit more tucked, and you'll be a lot closer to the golf ball, which is going to allow you to then take your pelvis. Like you can see, there's a little bit of a shift off the ball. It's not so much that bothers me with the lower body and the rib cage. I don't like seeing how the head is backing up though. So once you get that shift, we need the pelvis now to start working this direction. Let's do that with an arrow. We need it to work this direction and then turning back towards center. And same with the rib cage. Those need to start turning a heck of a lot more. And then what you'd be able to do from here, we would be able to let this right arm just continue to bicep curl up towards your shoulder with rotation to where you could actually start to feel the structure and the weight of the golf club. Because now from here, the only thing we can do is we can see this club right here. So this club So we can see this club right here. What it's going to do from here is it's just going to start to steepen out. It pulls out in front of you, and it looks like you kind of struggle with some low point control stuff. Ball might start left, could start right, but it doesn't look like we have a lot of speed, nor contact is great. So what I want to see is let's fix the setup, and then let's really start to add a lot more rotation with the pelvis going this direction and that direction, back on center, and the rib cage, we're going to rotate it back and then start to move it more towards center so that you could complete your turn. So those would be the places that I would start. Let me know how that comes along, and if you have any questions, buddy.